Welcome to this live stream today on my birthday. There are certain things here on the Bitcoin chart happening right now, and that made me actually come here live for you guys. So be prepared for a jam-packed episode here today, even though it's my birthday, so I was like, no, I have to make a live stream for you guys to show you what's going on here. Just give me a second because I want to see here all the windows, what's going on with the stream. No, that's not what I was looking for. Here, there we go. Yes, thank you so much, guys. Thank you. What can I activate here? 1 second. Yes, activate. Okay. So there we go. There. This is what I wanted extra here on the side. Sorry, guys. I don't do often live streams, so I'm always a little bit confused with the settings here. Yes, so let's directly get started here. I don't want to waste any time because I have also food on the way. So if the camera cuts out at a certain point, don't be confused. It's because the driver is calling me, because the food is coming. But let's get back to Bitcoin. So as you can see here, we have a bearish divergence right now on the 4-hourly chart. The big question is, should you be worried about this bearish divergence or not? Really, really simple, guys. You should be worried when Bitcoin starts losing this area here. If this area of support is lost, then the bearish divergence most likely is going to play out and will bring us back down to this level down here. So if we would just come back here, let's say to $66,500 approximately, in the range of $66,700, it's not all too bad, so let it drop there. We're not far away from that. But what we don't want to see is Bitcoin breaking through it, go lower, and only find here support at 64,600 and then come back up. It would be still not the worst to see a move like that from Bitcoin, but of course, while we are here trading just under $67,000, which is a major resistance, we don't want to see Bitcoin losing any ground here for more upside momentum. When we're going then into the higher time frames here on the weekly chart, we are still looking super bullish. As I said the other day, we are definitely here getting our buy signal, which is a precursor for continuation to the upside. The only major obstacle here on the higher time frames is the $72,000 level. Once that is broken and flipped into support, I believe a move here into the $80,000 region will happen really quickly, and might be even faster than many people are expecting it to be happening, because that will be the next major resistance for Bitcoin. Otherwise, there's not much to say to this weekly chart here. Another reason why I'm paying close attention to the $67,000 level comes here from the 12-hourly chart, and that is the downward sloping trend line from this overall bigger bull flag here. So we are basically trying to break the downward sloping resistance of that flag. If we fail to do that, then we are also here most likely coming back to the mid-range to $66,000. And if we lose the mid-range, we are coming all the way down to the 100 moving average here to 65. One of these two levels will definitely hold support. And from there, I expect then another attempt to break through this. And that attempt most likely will be successful. And we will then trend higher from here. These are also the two levels that I'm looking at to buy and open a new Bitcoin position. If we are not able to break through here $67,000. Otherwise, if I see here a 1-hourly candle closing above the $67,000 level in the near future, that will be then for me a sign to potentially open here a long position into the resistance of $71,800. So let me mark out this trade here for you. So here, actually 67,400. That's the level that I'm looking for. And then here just slightly under the mid-range level. So this is still a almost free risk to reward ratio. Now on Bitcoin, that's absolutely fine. Everything above 1 to 2 is for me worth it to take it. It's a 6.4% move to the upside against a 2.27 move to the downside if we get stopped out. Now, if I trade this with 25x, I make here over 150% on the upside, but potentially lose 60% to the downside on that trade on my capital if that trade goes against me. So again, here I wait for a 1 hourly close above $67,400, and that is most likely then the level where I'm going to enter this to trade this to $71,000, actually $800, a little bit higher. So here, and maybe when we get close to this level and I see Bitcoin just keeps going, maybe I will remove then my take profit and move it all the way up to 74. And then the risk to reward ratio is, as you can see, much, much better. Oh, so many people here in the chat, guys, today. Amazing, amazing. I see all of you. Let me have a look here from Singapore. Oh, I was actually a month ago, no, 2 months ago, I was in Singapore. I will come back in September for Formula 1 and for Token 24/9. That will be the next time when I'm going to be in Singapore. So really love Singapore. It's just like rent is insane, you know. So I would not like to live in Singapore, you know. So when I looked at some apartment prices, it's crazy. Now here on this 1 hourly chart for Bitcoin, I was posting this bull pennant on Twitter earlier, and we broke it to the upside. We did not hit the technical target of it, because let me show you. That bull pennant has a target here of $68,400. We did not break here the golden ratio on the 1 hourly chart. That basically stopped us. We wigged here slightly into it, got rejected, went back to the downward sloping now support line of that bull pennant. It is still holding support, but because of the bearish divergence on the 4 hourly, we might lose this level. And like I said, move here lower. The golden ratio here is the level that I'm actually looking for on the 1 hourly to close a candle above it. For my next entry, I'm not really keen on opening a position in the golden ratio or just under the golden ratio when it is above us, because it is resistance, guys, you know, and I want to see a clean break above it with a retest. And on the retest, I enter and then I trade this into the technical target on the 4 hourly chart. Now here on this 4 hourly chart where we're speaking about it, we have major liquidity sitting just above us here in terms of short liquidations. That is the last bigger block that I was talking about here on these levels, not in terms of liquidity sitting there, in terms of density of positions. That is sitting here at $67,580 all the way up to $69,000. I can tell you, once we are flipping $67,400, $500 approximately, you're gonna see another short squeeze starting to liquidate all these levels and potentially going all the way up to $70,000, and only see from there then a rejection and a small correction back to the downside, back into this level, consolidate, and then another leg to the upside. Something else that I wanted to point out here that you should pay attention to on the 4 hourly, not only do we have a bearish divergence, why is this not, okay, no, this is okay. We also have here a bear flag forming. So, and that is another warning sign, you know. So if we break here this current upward sloping support to the downside and close a 4 hourly candle beneath it, get ready that the bearish divergence is playing out and most likely, like I said, bring us back into the $64,500 region. Here, if we move down there, I believe that we are liquidating this level here and afterwards seeing a bounce, something like this, back to the upside. So it will step through $64,800 all the way down to like 64, potentially 64 to 100, you know, so just to stop a lot of people out of their positions, and then we are reversing back to the upside. And you're also going to see that here on the heat map on the liquidation levels. So let me refresh that. See here, liquidity below us is also quite dense right now. So if we would here liquidate all of that, then that was accumulated over the last 24 hours. He is like around $100 million, I would guess, all the way down to like 65,300. And then here a little bit at like 64,300. So if we would go and liquidate here all these levels, that would of course then lead to a massive move back to the upside where we liquidate, especially here, this heated area around 67,630, which again, like I said, is going to trigger then a massive short squeeze to the upside. When we go into the higher time frames, things look a little bit more different. So you see here below us, there's not a lot of liquidity to be taken out, but to the upside, here is still some major liquidity. Regardless, I still believe, not now, not in the near future, but at some point, Bitcoin will come back and clean here everything up to the level of like $62,000. So all this liquidity that is still here in between 62 and current prices, at some point it will taken out, or positions getting close because people just take profit, So, but these levels are going to disappear sooner than later at some point. Now let's talk about some of my positions that I have here on BYBIT now, a new Solana position that was already up almost $1,500 earlier. Now it's still 1,100 because we see a small retracement in Bitcoin. That of course has an effect also on the altcoins, but for me that's fine, So, and of course I updated the spreadsheet. My other Solana positions, they're all closed now, so I made amazing gains here on these trades so far. The ton trade that I called is still open, the fetch trade is still open, and now, like I said, I added today that Solana trade that I actually opened yesterday. That's why the date from yesterday. Again, if you want to follow the spreadsheet, go to the the description of the video. Under the Discord link is the link to this spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is open to everyone, so you just have to go and check it out. Now, here my fetch trade on Phemex is also here 62% almost in the profit. So my SNX trade slightly underwater, but this will also start paying at some point. I'm gonna talk here in a minute about fetch because I believe fetch is really soon taking off here to the upside. Let's talk about the Bitcoin dominance, because here again something amazing was happening today. Overall, so let me put it this way. This current candle that we are seeing here for today was green when I looked earlier at it, and the dominance was going down here and not bouncing. Now it's bouncing. And again, like I said yesterday, this is exactly what we want to see. We want to see Bitcoin pumping to the upside, dominance losing momentum to the downside. And when we are seeing this, then we know alt season is really close. But for a real altcoin season to be confirmed, we need to break and stay under the 52% level. So you're gonna think maybe, but if we are moving down now 3% on the dominance, altcoins will have already some sort of a move. Yes, but if you go back in history and look back, what kind of moves we pulling once that key resistance level is broken on the dominance, and how altcoins performing then the altcoin move here in between is nothing compared to what's going to happen when we move here into these lower levels. Because here is the life-changing money that everybody is after. And from here, we are seeing altcoins doing like 50-60% again in a single day. And I'm talking also some major altcoins. I'm talking like a Ripple move from last summer, where Ripple almost moved 100% on spot in a single day. So we are going to see similar moves when we break under the 52 and the 51% level on the dominance. But regardless, in between, once we are starting to break down here from this rising wedge, I want to be positioned in most of my altcoin positions already at the 55% level, but that is just me. I'm not saying you should do that because it's still quite risky to do it from there. I believe the best moment to position yourself in altcoins will be when we're getting down here to the 52.7, 53.4% level, because then it's highly unlikely that we are going to see another spike back here to like 55%. So in the worst case, 54, you know, deviate, come back, and then we finally break to the downside. So, but these are trades that I only play on spot because of the potential volatility of the dominance at some point to the upside, you know, so where I could get crushed if I trade this on leverage. So, or I use super, super low leverage and have a lot of money on cross in the bank to avoid liquidation. So, and I mean like tenfold what I of the position size and only like 2-3x leverage, something like that. And only when we break under the 52%, 51% mark, then I would increase my leverage and maybe the position size. Now, when we're looking at some of the altcoins for this week, the strong ones that are performing here, I wanted to show you that because these are potentially the altcoins that we also need to focus on for the next week. One of them that piqued my interest is Safe, because I have no idea what it is, but it pumped 30.5% this week. I have to look into it. I know I heard something about this project. Also here on the monthly, let's see, where is this on the monthly? So yeah, okay, looks like it just newly launched because I cannot see. No, here over the month it's actually 30% down. Is it here also over the year somewhere? Where is Safe? No, I don't see it, or it's too small that I see it. So I'm pretty sure it's a fairly new project, but that it's up 30.5%. There might be a narrative that I'm not aware of that is playing around. Let's see. What is this about? Ownership layer. So that might be, if it's an ownership layer, it might be RWA. Let's see. Easily Face ID, like logins. Okay. So that is that looks like a deepened project. Yes, so that is a deepened project. So maybe we should start paying attention to deepened projects. Of course, not all of them are here on the crypto bubbles. But if you go to CoinMarketCap, for example, you know, CoinMarketCap, and you're looking for deepen. So here, categories, deepen. So then you get all the coins, you know, so then you only have to check where they're actually trading. So your last 24 hours, let's see. No, actually, I want to see where was the highest volume. So you see here render, then Moonchain, massive volume. So, but you see there's not a lot of them that are actually up here in the last 24 hours. But over the week, a lot of them are doing well. And that could be a precursor that they are just warming up right now. You know, see XRT, Nosana also up. Nosana is one that we talked about here a while back. Then Lumerin, Dion, SCP, blocks. So over the week, they are all doing quite well. So I think for next week, tomorrow we should look into this narrative. So tomorrow I'm gonna pull up a lot of deepened charts and have a look before I make the video if that is something worth to be checked out here. But regardless, for this week, Link, Solana, FDM, AMSOL, then Ondo, Jupiter, RV, here Safe, RUNE, Core, all near. These are all coins that I'm paying massive attention to also next week. Also with being down 15%, you know, so kind of juicy for me, you know. So if this is 15% down, I like when WIF is down here. Even yeah, so that was like today alone 11%, you know. So I like that when this is down. So here my ton is down 4%. So WIF made me a lot of money the last time when I was trading this. So I might be looking into a new WIF position. But also here on the total market cap, you can clearly see that we are breaking here above the $2.3 trillion level and trying to retest and break back into the $2.4, $2.5 trillion level. If we can get at least a proper test here until tomorrow, that would be amazing. And I'm pretty sure by next week we finally break above that, and the week afterwards we're getting a retest and finally move away from that in direction of $3 trillion. And again, you're gonna see altcoins popping left, right, and center when we're getting back into this area here like the last time, and especially when we start moving above that. Because the last time when we moved above that, width was like $5, for example, you know. So I have to look where width is now. I have no idea. If it's down 11%, it must be under $3. Very low audio. Guys, let me know. Do you think I have really low audio, or is it fine? Because it should be fine. I did not change anything on my audio settings here. So but let me know here real quick. Maybe I can do something about it. Just want to know. What is this here? I got a warning or something. Okay. Yeah, so it's just... who was that here? Dr. Och. I think it's a problem that you have, maybe with your phone or with your laptop, you know, so maybe your AirPods, I don't know what it is, you know, so volume is not low. Maybe you need to fix something. So let's continue to move on here. The USDT dominance, remember guys, I told you when we are breaking under 4.74%, Bitcoin will be above the $67,000 level. That is exactly what happened. We are getting here now a small bounce. Also, this was something that I told you guys is going to happen here. I think I said this 2 days ago, that most likely we're going to see a small retest. But regardless if this retest is successful and we are breaking above that, tomorrow or on Monday, I definitely believe that we are starting to continue this downwards trajectory and will head lower, which will propel, of course, Bitcoin then into higher levels. The Ethereum price is finally testing the upper band of the EMA ribbon. We were waiting for that. Now we need to hold the level that we are currently in here, $3,100. If Ethereum can manage to hold this level on and the Ethereum bulls push a little bit higher, then we're going to see that flipping back into an uptrend and a retest of the $3,340 level. Once we are above here, kind of like the middle, 3,250, we're going to see another short squeeze that should bring us in Ethereum above the $3,360 level, and most likely directly retesting the golden ratio here, the 0.68, 0.65, 3,576, $3,685 level here for Ethereum. The overall target on this falling wedge pattern that we broke out of is still $4,090 approximately up here. So I'm not expecting Ethereum to reach this in like a week, you know, so, but Ethereum has also to do a lot of catch up price wise. But we could see this, I would say, early June at some point, you know, so I kind of have a funny feeling that during the summer, Ethereum will surprise a lot of people. It's just a feeling, guys. So then here Solana, that is the trade setup that I had given you guys. So I hope the other trade was successful for everyone, and you took your profit the same way like I did. And now here this trade is also slightly in a profit already, like I told you guys. I actually have to move this a little bit lower because I opened at 69 somewhere there. So you see here we are slightly in a profit right now. Actually no, because I told you guys to enter here, so we leave it as it is. So here my take profit point is the $200 level more or less on this specific trade. Here also just a warning sign on the 4-hourly chart is this rising wedge here that is giving me a little bit of headache. Best case scenario for Solana is that we are starting to move here sideways out of it without seeing a major breakdown and just consolidate to cool the indicators down and then see another move here to the upside. Here on the daily chart, also everything looking super bullish right now, especially trading above the golden ratio here. So if we can close the daily candle as it is and we see tomorrow a small red one coming back to retest the golden ratio, that's absolutely fine. Here I just don't want to see that we're losing the golden ratio so that we move under $161. As long as we are not doing that and consolidating here in between, to gain momentum, to see another leg to the upside, I'm absolutely fine with that. Yeah, thank you, Toby. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So let me see. What is everybody else saying? Okay. So let's continue here. The next setup, fetch. Let me actually have a look here. Fetch. So here's no bearish divergence yet. So we just got a rejection from this bigger resistance area. That is also not really unusual that we are seeing this. It is a key resistance area. So for once, because it was support all the way over here. Come on. And also here, that retest. Then we broke this into and became resistance. Here we deviated, then again resistance, deviated, resistance, resistance. Here again rejection, that it is resistance. So it is a really hard level to break for fetch. But I can tell you, once this is breaking, we might even go above $3. And once we are seeing this, and I might actually also raise my take profit from $2.80 in direction of $3 and higher once we are above that level. So, but I want to see how the price is reacting when we are breaking above $2.40. Here, if you missed to enter with everyone together at $2.70, wait for a potential retest of the downward sloping resistance line here, which is currently sitting at $2.24. And that would be, I think, the last entry that you will get before we start moving here to the upside. The indicators also showing that over the next 5 hours we are going to bottom out on the stochastic and most likely going to see then a reversal. The RSI is still in bullish territory above 50%, and the MACD will most likely, the signal line will bounce off the trend line, so the blue line will bounce off the red line, and that will also then signal continuation price-wise. Here, RNDR is a little bit disappointing for me right now. I'm still here on BLOFIN in my RNDR trade. If you're not on BLOFIN, guys, I actually like this exchange quite a lot. Since I'm trading here, there is a link in the description and in the just in the description today, where you can sign up and still get a ROLEX, so and $7,500 plus 10% cashback on your initial deposit. So definitely check that out. You see I'm a little bit underwater here, but the other trades were all fine overall. So I just keep holding this like my last trades that I had here on BLOFIN. Yeah, my liquidation is quite low. I think, do I even have a liquidation level? Is it on cross? No, isolated. Yeah, so almost 10%. We need a 10% drop here to liquidate me. So yeah, I guess this is not going to happen anytime soon. So I was at RNDR over here. Here we are about to bottom out on a stochastic. The RSI also is here rounding up to move here back to the upside, shaping up for that. Here I just want to see the selling pressure momentum fading out on the MACD, and then I would consider, if you're not in RNDR position, to enter this. So here, this area here, that might be a good area to start building a position, but you don't want to put all your money in this area in. Just, I would put like 25-30% of the position that you want to have, and the rest when we are breaking above $10.70 on the 4-hourly chart. So if you see a 4-hourly candle closing above $10.17, that is where you want to enter with the rest of the money that you have on the sideline for that specific trade. Then ton is continuously moving it to the downside, but also here I expect a big move rather sooner than later, because here when we see a long period on the MACD in red, and you see a downward sloping trend on the in the price action, that is usually a precursor and a sign that momentum is building up for a massive break to the upside. So we could see another big candle like this one here at any given point that brings us almost straight back to like $7, so like a 10% move in one single candle on the 4-hourly chart. So I would not be surprised to see something like this here on ton. Especially also the RSI just flatlining here in the mid-range, you know, and the stochastic gave already a buy signal. So maybe give it a little bit, another 8 to 12 hours. But yeah, here also 12 hours is also ready to bounce back to the upside from what I can see here. Yeah, so I give it 24 hours, and I believe TON is going to move here. And again, the remaining take profit areas are still the same. If you want to build a position on TON and you haven't done yet, everything here in that zone that we are already trading in is a good area to start. And again, don't take all your money for that. Take a little bit for that position and take the rest when we are breaking this downward sloping trend. You know, so that will be the best that you can do. And there I would add at like $6.60, 61 cents. That would be the level where I would add the rest to that position. And then I would trade this to $7.70, potentially all the way up to $8, where I have my take profit. So now, wow. Then let's go to the next one here, Ondo. Ondo is right now one of the coins that I'm personally looking at to open a new position. I missed personally that whole move, you know, even though I was calling for it more or less every single day. I told you buy at 83 cents if you cannot buy there, and here this area turns into support, the 93-cent area, buy here and trade this to $1, you know. So I gave you so much opportunity to get into here. Also at 77 cents I was calling in multiple times to enter into a position. And now yesterday we went actually to $1, and today. So this whole move took 2 days to move from 77 cents to $1. That was a 23, that was actually more. That was almost a 40% move here within 2 days. If you would have had a little bit leverage on that, you would have made insane gains on this trade. Here again, I'm calling it now again and say, if we come back to 93 and 91 cents, open a position there. Most likely we are going to bounce back to the upside, break then above $1, and will move into higher price levels. If you want to know how high we are potentially going to move, for that we are taking here the Fibonacci extension levels. Oh, sorry, not the setup level, extensions. And having here a look, so $1.23 would be the next target here. And you see here the golden ratio is basically the level that I'm calling for a bounce when we come down. So, and you want to add just a little bit above it, you know. So, and if you still have some money left, you can also add then within if we are able to get it. And then to the next golden ratio above us to $1.24 will be then the next target that I would be trading. So let me see here. I need to. So here, let's see what we're talking about from 91 cents. So there's another 35% move to the upside here on Ondo. And again, you saw how fast Ondo moved here over the last 2 days. This can also be happening in the next 3-4 days again, once the indicators have cooled down a little bit. Pendle, another one that we called here successfully, also nice in a profit right now. Where is here? Sorry, the camera is blocking a little bit here of my tool field. Now let's see here. So let's see you call it here in the middle, then you would be still up over 8.8% right now. On this trade, I called it when we broke the downward sloping trend line and said when we were breaking this trend line, start opening a position when we get back into that green zone here. And now we are from there. Roughly 10%, yeah, between 8 and 10%, depending on where you caught this in that green area here up. And targets remain $5.20 to $5.30, and above that $5.74 to like $5.90. And then a long-term target is again here $7.13. Let it be a midterm target. That's a midterm target. So now, once we are breaking here above $5.30, I think we're going to see also an acceleration, where we see here something like this happening over here, where it just goes up in almost a straight line, because we are forming here a bigger W pattern, and the neckline of it technically is here at $5.20. if you want to trade this conservatively. So, and then look at this. This will bring us back to $6.45. So that is something that I'm looking at right now, trade-wise. So I would not open now because we are like in no man's land here a little bit. And we are also facing this resistance here at $5 more or less. And we could get rejected from there back down to $4.50 before we see then finally a breakthrough and a move like this. So that's why I'm a little bit careful right now when it comes to Pendle. Then RUNE. RUNE is another one that I'm trading. And here I also gonna open a public position soon on RUNE. And I open the public position either when we're coming a little bit lower into this buy area here of $6.62 to $6.75, or if we break this downward sloping trend line here on the 4-hourly chart, because the indicator's telling me that RUNE is ready to move up here again. With the next 4-hourly candle, we should get a buy signal on the stochastic RSI, and also then again a bounce from the MACD from both lines here to the upside and continuation in terms of bullish momentum, and also the RSI should see an uptick at that point. If that is not happening, you know, so and we actually start to trade below $6.62, then I will just wait. I will wait for either a retest and a reclaim to open the position, or if we really had a little bit lower, then around the $6.35 and $6.21 mark is where I'm going to open a position. So now, really quick, guys, 2 free charts that you want to see. Please only choose coins that are actually trading at least on BYBIT. You know, so Render, I was already going through Render. Watch the recording of the stream. So no coins that I talked already about. New coins, guys, new coins. You know, so not coins that we talked here already about. So if you have some wishes, let me know. Okay, PEPE might be interesting. Filecoin also. Oh, okay, you know what? I take the first 3 that came in here. PEPE, Filecoin, and INJ. Let's talk about them. PEPE is something that I have not charted at all. So let me make this here, PEPE chart. So I have to do it from scratch. So just let me remove the volume. Go away. So PEPE USDTP. So let's see here on BYBIT. Oh, that spot. Wait, I think it's 1,000 PEPE for leverage, what they have on BYBIT. Yes. Yes, so there we go. Let's get the indicators out. Actually, I'll make that a little bit easier for me, because this is quite annoying. Just give me a second, guys. I know that PEPE went up like crazy because of the GameStop craze. Unfortunately, I did not catch it. So, but that looks also, just based on the indicators, really, really simple from what I'm seeing. So I actually want to see this on a daily time frame. Yeah, so here, really, really clear what happened here with PEPE. So first of all, you had here an inverse head and shoulders pattern on the daily chart. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. I think that target was already achieved. So I take it conservatively. Yes, so that target was already hit. So you had a possibility to catch that based on this pattern already. So now, if you want to know where I would open or add to a PEPE position, then I would be looking at this area here. So this was resistance in the past. And you can clearly see that by all these wicks that went above it, you know, with a deviation, and then we went below that level again. Here, the retest that failed, and here again, the retest that failed, and then we needed a really strong candle to get above this. So this should now hold support. And when we come back into this level, that is where I would actually now open a position. But from what I'm seeing here on the daily, on the indicators, I would be a little bit careful, because here we have potentially 2 or 3 more days of downwards movement, at least on the indicators, to come a little bit lower. But it doesn't mean that this level has to break, you know. Just in case that it would give in, then here, this would be then the next area that I would be looking at to open a position. So if you're not in a paper position yet and you're looking at one, I would take a chance and maybe take 25% of the money that I want to allocate to that trade and enter here. And the rest of the money I would keep on the sidelines, just in case it would come all the way back down here. And there I would go all in with the rest of the amount that I would have put on the side for this trade. And I would not use massive leverage on that, because I'm going to show you now that this is actually a quite big move from all the way up here down there. You see, this is like an 18% move. So here I would not use more than like 4x leverage, you know. So you can increase the leverage when we are breaking above the 9259 level, you know, so then you can increase it, because then we basically know that we are bouncing to the upside and will continue to go up. But if not, you know, so you want to protect your position and make sure that you can enter then with a lot of more money here and average down your entry price, you know. So your entry price will most likely then be around the 816 level if you enter at 7.7, something like that, you know. So when it comes to targets, so here, the next targets here for PEPE. So here you see, I cannot make this up, guys, you know. So here the golden ratio is exactly in the middle between both levels where I would buy. So here you see, if we get to the golden ratio, that might be actually the better level to add the other bigger part of your capital. And that is the massive zone where we definitely need to bounce back to the upside, you know. So if we would lose the golden ratio, I would cut the trade. I would take the loss, you know, and I would be out. So, but I don't see that right now, you know. So that this would be a possibility, because I know that PEPE is super strong under all these meme coins. So I would not be too worried about that. But the target here is 1.5 cents to the upside. So, and even if we bounce only here from 0.009, you know, so this is a massive move, you know. So look at this. This is a 71% move. You don't need a lot of leverage, you know. So if you trade this and you catch it right with 10x, you know, so that is a 710% move that you're catching here. And also here, I believe that PEPE can do this quite quickly. I would say within a month, you know. So as long as we are holding here the 0.009 cent level, I see this in a month happening, that maybe faster, you know. If the GameStop craze continues, then even faster that we are coming up here. So let me have a look at, so let me go to another chart, because I had INJ and Filecoin. So I actually have a Filecoin chart file. That is, so here, yes, so Filecoin. Oh, but I have here no drawings, so I need to get to the other one. File. So there is right now a Pendle chart on. So, but I have here Filecoin. Where do I have file? Let's see. So which platform? Okay, so I was doing this here. So this is old. It's also something that I can't use anymore, so it's old. So, but let's see what's happening here. Oh wow! So here, yeah, looks like the rebuy area is still a good area, but I would be also careful with this. So here also, downward sloping trend on Filecoin. Actually, yeah, something like this. So here I want to see a break of this downward sloping trend before I would enter this. I would not enter here now in that rebind zone, and let me explain you why. Because the stochastic RSI has a lot of room to go to the downside. The RSI is pointing to the downside, so momentum is right now to the downside in Filecoin. And if we lose here $5.81, most likely we are going all the way down to like $5.60, potentially even lower than that. And you don't want to be exposed, you know, in a trade right now once that is happening, you know. So that's why wait for a break of this downward sloping trend line. I would only consider entering this if we come down here to $5.70, $5.60. There I would start building this position, and then add the rest on the break of this downward sloping trend, you know. So, and then when it comes to targets for Filecoin, so that is actually a little bit easier. So here, imminent targets. So you see here, that is another reason why we got rejected, is there is a golden ratio over the last 24 hours that we got rejected from. Once we're breaking through this, we will go here to the upside, most likely to $7.12. Again, that is a big move for Filecoin. So if you would enter here from the golden ratio, that is almost a 20% move, 10x leverage on that, 200%. Easy money, guys, you know. So, and if you trade this from the break of the downward sloping trend line, yeah, okay, it's 1% more roughly, you know, that you get out of it. So but watch these levels, you know. So that's what I would do here. And then the last one, and then I have to go, guys, because it's getting late here, and I'm doing this now for 45 minutes. INJ, I actually had a chart for INJ, but it's fine. I just take this one right now. Let's go back here. I want to see. Oh, okay. So here also, I would be a little bit careful right now, because if we move here under the $21 level, the next level of bigger support is down here. So here, $17.88, $18.64. If we are not really soon breaking this massive downward sloping trend line, you know. So right now we are trying to break it. So everybody can see that, you know, we are trying to break above it. But the stochastic is quite high on the daily. We can flatline here a little bit, you know. The RSI is getting into bullish territory. The MACD is opening up, showing us there is a lot of momentum coming in. So only if we can close this daily candle as it is and continue at least to push a little bit sideways, you know, before we see the next leg to the upside, only then I would, then I would be more confident in INJ right now. So I'm not saying it would be a bad decision to open a trade here, but I would have a tight stop loss, you know. So I would have a stop loss at around, actually here, 2% below current prices, you know. That would be my stop loss. So if you trade with 10x leverage, it would be a 20% loss that I would be ready to take on this position, just in case. And then I would reopen it when we are moving to the upside and breaking the downward sloping trend line for good, you know. So when it comes to targets, targets here to the upside, here this horizontal level would be a target for me, just because it was in the past support. Actually, let's make it thin like this. So this was support in the past, strong support where we bounced off every single time. You see it here, we broke this level, then support, 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 then we broke the support. So even if we come up here, I don't believe that we immediately break this, the $30.80 level. Most likely we're going to see a small rejection from it, and then on the next attempt with some consolidation, we see then a continuation move to the upside here. So, and afterwards, after that level, the next level would be all the way up here, more or less. No, maybe even higher. Let me have a look here. No, here. that is the next level then. $39, $40. That is the next level. And I'm sure that when I pull here now the Fibonacci extensions, that that is in alignment. Yeah. So you see here the next resistance level is more or less in perfect alignment with the golden ratio here at $29.49 and $30.08 at the 0.65, 0.618. And once we are breaking this, we should fly to the upside. On the lower time frames, we might look a little bit better. No, actually not. I don't like how the stochastic RSI looks there. The 12 hourly also quite high. On the 1 hourly, yes, the 1 hourly looks better. So, but the higher time frames, they look a little bit exhausted, you know. So even if we move a little bit higher, let's say we get another 10% move, I think after that move is done, that we're gonna consolidate a little bit, you know. So for a current move, I would wait that we see here. I want to get this straight. $25.40. So another roughly 1.5% move is what I would like to see before I would enter a position, because then we are above that current small resistance. And then you can potentially trade this to like $30, you know, and around the $30 mark, I would either raise my stop loss to like 27, or I would start taking profit here, because like I said, the higher time frames looking exhausted from the 4 hourly to the daily. On the weekly, I think we are looking fine, you know. So yeah, here we are fine, you know. So if you have a spot back, there's no problem, you know. Only if you trade on leverage, I would be a little bit more careful here, especially if you use something like 10x or higher than that. Yeah, guys, that's it for today's live stream. Thank you so much for watching. I will check now where my food is. It still did not come, you know. I don't know what they're doing with my food. Let me have a check. Yeah, food's still not here. Crazy. Yeah, I hope to see you all then again tomorrow on my regular video, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday.